measure blood pressure, the gold standard is to measure blood pressure directly by using a catheter. So you insert a catheter into a major artery. Then this catheter is connected to a manometer via a tubing that is filled with fluid. So essentially, the manometer is in fluid contact with your blood. So using this direct method, you will be able to measure your blood pressure, but this is invasive. You need a catheter. So then we came up with non-invasive methods. So have you seen this before? Yeah, everybody has seen this. So how does this work? So there's an inflatable cuff. This inflatable cuff, then it's connected to the balloon that you can use to inflate the cuff, and there's a pressure sensor, and you should have noticed that the nurse always insert a stethoscope under this cuff. So how does this work? First we inflate the cuff so that there's a very high pressure. The pressure is so high that it's going to collapse your artery. There's no blood flow through the artery when we apply such a large pressure. Then the cuff slowly deflates. So it deflates until it reaches the systolic pressure. So at this point, your artery will start to open just a little bit. Then blood will start to squeeze through this small opening. That creates a turbulent flow. So with a turbulent flow, you are going to hear sounds in the stethoscope. Then as your cuff continues to deflate, when it reaches the systolic pressure, your artery will be fully open. So at that point, turbulent flow will become laminar flow. That means, at systolic pressure, you will hear the first sound. And at diastolic pressure, you'll hear the last sound. So this is how we use this setup to measure blood pressure. So they will really just listen in for the first and last sound. So, and this is manual. This is not very automatic. So if you go to CVS to buy a blood pressure meter, you get this. This is automatic. So essentially what's going on here is that, instead of listening manually, they are placing a pressure sensor under the cuff. And then, based on, oscillations detected by the pressure sensor, you will be able to identify the first sound and the last sound. So that's how we make blood pressure measurement automatic. So, instead of, listening by professionally trained personnel, we use a pressure sensor to automate this flow. So this is most widely used clinically.